Hema Rajesh, tutor for biology. I will be covering revision today. Briefly, I will run through how to access revision notes and test in clay6.com before I begin the class. Now go to clay6.com, click on practice. You will see packages. Select the package you want. Since it's NEET class, I'm selecting on NEET Premium. Here you will find subject-wise tests in physics, chemistry, biology. Now since it's biology 11th, I will click on this. Now you will see lot of chapter-wise tests being created. These are created keeping in view the complexity of the textbook and also its importance in NEET exam. Now let me explain what each bubble stands here. The green bubble says that you have already completed the test, but you can reappear for the test again. You can retake the test. Suppose you have not scored very high marks, you would like to improve your score after learning the concepts, you can again visit here and take the test. Blue bubble indicates that you have not taken the test yet, and this last red bubble shows that it's a randomized test. So as the complexity I said increases, in the randomized test it will be of uh, a mixed bag of complex questions and simple and easier questions. Now this yellow bubble here shows that you have not completed the test. Suppose you have taken the test, you felt that after 4 or 5 questions you are not ready for the test, then you feel like quitting the test, then again you can visit the test after learning all the concepts thoroughly and then come back to the test. Now on top of this, there is a revision notes. If you just click this, you will get it will open into PDF, and this PDF has been prepared in such a way that your entire 11th and 12th has been summarized for physics, chemistry and biology to 135 pages so that you are able to have a quick look during your revision. Now, as a teacher, I know that I get a lot of queries from students asking, ma'am, should we learn everything from NCERT? No doubt, NCERT is the base for NEET biology, but the problem is you can't be learning each and every line in the textbook. And after an analysis of the NEET papers, we have seen that there are three kinds of questions. One is NCERT based, second is direct from the previous year's question paper, and third is the modified questions. So based on the NCERT questions, approximately 68 to 70 questions in the examination are directly asked from the NCERT books. They can be attempted easily if you are thorough with NCERT syllabus and you are preparing religiously. Now, if it is direct from the previous question papers, around 8 to 10 questions will be coming. And if you have solved past papers, it becomes very easy. These questions are repeated with little or no modifications. And modified questions, at least 8 to 10 questions in the NEET will be newer question. They would not have appeared in any of the NEET tests. These questions become the game changers for those as they can't be solved by mere mugging up of facts. Though they are from NCERT, to get them right, you need to apply the knowledge that you have about the subject. So in this website, an earnest attempt has been made to help you prepare adequately for your NEET, and we have catered to all the three kinds of questions in physics, chemistry and biology. Now I hope you have got the framework. Now let us begin with the lesson. So today's lesson is cell division. In cell division, first is the cell cycle. You know, most of the eukaryotic cells live according to an internal clock which proceeds through a sequence of events. And this phase or sequence of events or phases is called as a cell cycle. So you can define cell cycle as the sequence of events by which a cell duplicates its genome, synthesizes the other constituents of the cell, and eventually divide into two daughter cells. Now, what are the phases of cell cycle? This diagram is very important because they will ask you to identify the phases, or they will give you the phase and ask you to identify what happens in each phase. So if you look at the cell cycle over here, you have got G1 interphase, G1 phase, S phase. The interphase has got G1 phase, S phase, G2 phase, and M phase can be either a mitotic phase or the meiotic phase. So broadly, if you look at a cell cycle, it is divided into interphase and M phase. So interphase will be having G0, G1 and G2 and S phase, and M phase could be either mitosis or meiosis. Now what happens in each phase? Let us have a cursory glance. Now in G1 phase, cell is metabolically active and grows continuously. In S phase, DNA synthesis occurs. DNA content increases from 2C to 4C. That is, there is doubling of DNA content, but chromosome number remains the same at 2N or the diploid stage. G2 phase, proteins are synthesized in preparation for mitosis while cell growth continues. G0 phase, it's a quiescent stage. Cells that do not divide and exit G1 phase will enter in an inactive stage called G0 phase. But sometimes they can also they will become active. Cells at this stage remain metabolically active but do not proliferate. But in extreme cases, they also undergo proliferation. Now there are three kinds of cell division, namely amitosis, mitosis, and meiosis. Amitosis is a simple type of cell division where the cell contents, including nucleus, will divide into two equal halves by an inwardly growing constriction in the middle of the cell. And this type of cell division is common in prokaryotes. Mitosis is a type of cell division wherein the daughter cells receive the same number of chromosomes as that of the mother cell. Suppose if the mother cell has got 2n is equal to 8, then the daughter cells will also receive 8 chromosomes. Meiosis is a type of cell division wherein the daughter cells will receive half the number of chromosomes as that of the mother cell. If the 2n number is 8 in the mother cell, daughter will receive only n number, that is haploid number, that is only 4 cells. Now let us look into mitosis. So first let us look into mitosis. As I explained to you earlier, it's a type of division that occurs in somatic cells, wherein the chromosome number in the daughter cell is equal to the chromosome number of their mother cell. So in the somatic cells, if you fall, sometimes what happens, you would have, the skin would have slouched off. And after some time, newer cells you can see being formed. So this is due to the mitosis because cells have started multiplying to cover the wound, and that is why the fresh skin is being formed. Like this, mitosis happens in the somatic cells. Now, what are the different phases of mitosis? Prophase, metaphase, anaphase, and telophase. Now, what are the key points have been just has been captured in the form of this organizer along with the diagrams. But now let me look and take you to the into the subject or into the concept so that you are able to understand slightly better. Now this is a prophase. Pro is the beginning phase. Pro means beginning, so it is the beginning phase. Chromatin network begins to uncoil and each chromosome becomes distinct as a thread-like structure. Each chromosome at this stage has two chromatids that lie side by side and are held together by a centromere. Nucleus gradually disappears. Nuclear membrane also starts disappearing. So this is the diagram of an early prophase. This is the diagram of a late prophase. See why I am projecting you all these slides are, these diagrams are very important from the examination point of view. One thing is they will ask you to identify the stage, or they will ask you to give you the, looking at the stages, the key events have to be identified. Now for the key events, that's why I said we have captured both in our PDF so that it becomes easier for you. The next phase is meta. Meta is coming to the middle. So the chromosomes will be aligning at the middle. That is why it is called as metaphase. Nuclear membrane and nucleolus disappear, marking the beginning of the metaphase. Chromosomes become shorter by further coiling. Chromosomes become distinct and become visible under proper staining under a compound microscope. Chromosomes orient themselves in the equator of the cell in such a way that all centromeres are arranged in the equator, forming the equatorial plate. Now, two chromatids face towards one pole and the other chromatids in the opposite poles. Spindle fibers. So, these are the spindle fibers that arise from the opposite poles and other chromatids. So, these are the spindle fibers. They arise from the opposite poles and they are attached to the centromere. The fibers are made up of proteins, and these proteins are rich in sulfur containing amino acids. That is very important. At late metaphase, centromeres will divide and now chromatids of each chromosome are ready to be separated. So this is the transition to the metaphase. You see that from the prophase, they are all trying to align at the equatorial region, and in the metaphase, they have aligned at the equatorial region. Ana is going up. So meta is coming to the middle, ana is going up. Now we have already seen division of centromere marks the beginning of the anaphase. Spindle fibers have started contracting. They have almost disappeared from the center because they have started pulling the chromatids up chromosomes. Now, when the chromosomes move towards the opposite poles, they assume V or J-shaped configuration. Variable shapes of the chromosomes are due to the variable position of the centromere. Now, the last stage is the telophase. Telo means end. So that is what is known as the telophase. At the end of the anaphase, chromosomes reach opposite poles. They uncoil, elongate, become thin and invisible. Nuclear membrane and nucleolus will reappear. Two daughter cells are formed, one at each pole. Now, if we look at cytokinesis, cytokinesis means this till where? From prophase to telophase, whatever you have studied, it is the division of the nucleus and it is called as karyokinesis. Now the division of the cytoplasm has to take place and it is called as cytokinesis. Now the formation of the cell wall begins as a cell plate known as phragmoplast, which is formed by the aggregation of the vesicles produced by the Golgi bodies in the plant cells, because in plant cells we have a cell wall. Now vesicles contain cell wall material which fuses with one another to form cell membranes and cell walls. In animal cell, if you look, this is an animal cell. So you look into this, the cell membrane will start constricting from the periphery and they will move towards the center. And once they move towards the center, by the end of the telophase, you will find the formation of two daughter cells. Now, what is the significance of mitosis? Now, yeah, we have listed it as growth. Okay. So as a result of mitosis, two daughter cells that are identical to each other and mother cells are formed. It ensures that the daughter cells has a genetic identity both qualitatively and quantitatively similar to the mother. That is the reason why we find that the chromosome number is same and forms the basis for the continuation of organisms in the lower forms. So asexual reproduction of lower plants is only possible by mitosis. Vegetative reproduction in higher plants by grafting, tissue culture method are all the consequence of mitosis. Mitosis is the common method of multiplication of cells that helps in the growth and development of multicellular organisms. Now, mitosis helps in the regeneration of lost or damaged tissue and in wound healing. Chromosome number is maintained constant by mitosis for each species. So this is about the mitosis. Whatever in your text that goes for 4 to 5 pages, everything has been covered in this PDF very briefly and very with the key points that are required for your examination purpose with the diagrams. Now let us look into meiosis. So meiosis is a special kind of cell division that reduces the chromosome number by half, resulting in the formation of four haploid daughter cells. So where does it occur? It obviously has to occur in the gametes, that is during the formation of gametes or gametogenesis in plants and animals. And why it has to occur? Suppose we know that in human beings we have 23 pairs of chromosomes. If egg also has 23 pairs and sperm also has 23 pairs, then the zygote will be having 46 pairs, as a result of which it will no longer remain as the same species. Now, to maintain the consistency or the constancy of the species number, gametes undergo meiosis, as a result of which the egg and the sperm that are produced will be having only 23 chromosomes, and when they fuse, the zygote will have 46 chromosomes or 23 pairs of chromosomes, thus maintaining the chromosome number constant for the species. Now let us look into meiosis. So it involves two sequential cycles of nucleus and cell division called meiosis 1 and meiosis 2. Now, interphase occurs prior to meiosis, which is similar to interphase of mitosis, except S phase is prolonged. Now, this is the way I have broadly we have put it as a table. Meiosis is divided into meiosis 1, interphase 2 is a short interval, and meiosis 2. So here meiosis 1 is divided into prophase 1, metaphase 1, anaphase 1, and telophase 1. Now, prophase 1 is the longest stage and it has got 5 substages. So, the 5 substages are leptotene, zygotene, pachytene, diplotene, diakinesis. So, you had to remember the order means remember LZP D squared. So, if you remember LZP D squared, you will be getting the stages in the sequential order. Meiosis 2 is again made up of prophase 2, metaphase 2, anaphase 2, and telophase 2. Now, this is about the meiosis 1. The details are all given here. Now, for a better explanation purpose, I'm going to show you in the slide. Now, let us look at prophase 1. This is the cell under prophase 1, and these are the substages. That is leptotene, zygotene, pachytene, diplotene, and diakinesis. Now let us look at each stage here. Now during prophase 1, chromatin becomes clearly visible as long thin twisted threads which appear as distinct chromosomes. They become short and thick due to dehydration and spiralization. Centrioles form the asters which migrate to opposite poles. A spindle is formed about the time the nucleolus and the nuclear membrane disappear. Prophase 1 lasts for longer duration than the prophase of mitosis. Prophase 1 is divided into leptotene, zygotene, pachytene, diplotene, and diakinesis. Now let us look into leptotene. It is also called leptonema. Some books will use leptonema, zygonema, pachynemia, diplonema, and diakinesis. It is one and the same. During leptotene stage, the volume of the nucleus increases and chromatin material condenses to form long thread-like structures. They appear as beaded structures. Chromosomes are double. The double nature is not distinct and hence they appear as single-stranded structure. Chromosomes at this stage take up specific orientation inside the nucleus. Telomeric ends of all the chromosomes converge towards one side of the nuclear membrane, appearing as a horseshoe structure. Biologists call the horseshoe-shaped structure as a bouquet stage. Centrioles repel to form asters and move towards the opposite poles. Now, here centrioles repel and you can see the asters have started moving to the opposite poles in the next stage. It's the zygotene. It is the stage of chromosome pairing. The homologous chromosomes come closer and they start pairing together. The phenomenon of pairing of homologous chromosome is called as the synapsis. Each homologous is now a bivalent. Pairing is so accurate that some biologists have called the stage as a zipper stage. Chromosomes continue to undergo condensation and ancestors keep migrating towards the opposite poles. Now, pachytene. Pairing of homologous chromosome is completed. Due to a high degree of condensation, chromosomes become thicker and shorter. Now bivalence will appear as 4 strands. Pachytene is often referred to as tetrad stage and bivalence with 4 chromatids as tetravalent. During pachytene, genetic material gets exchanged between the non-sister chromatids of the bivalence, and this is known as the crossing over. Crossing over is a mere reshuffling, redistribution, and natural exchange of genetic material of the two parents between the two homologous chromosomes. Now, due to the this crossing over, the genetic recombination is seen, and this produces variations which play a very vital role in evolution. Now, crossing over between two non-sister homologous chromatids can produce different gene combinations. Enzymes like endonucleases and most importantly, it is the recombinase are involved in this process. Crossing over takes place at various points along the chromatids. Now, the next stage is the diplotene. After completion of the crossing over, the synapsed chromosome will have to repel each other during diplotene stage. Separation is not complete since they are held together at the points of crossing over. So these points are called as the chiasmata, which will appear as X structure. The X, that is the letter X, under a microscope. Now the number of chiasmata per bivalent depends on the length of the chromosome, and shape of the bivalent depends on the number of chiasmata. Bivalents are visible loops, crosses, circles, and continue to undergo further condensation. So the stage in which crossing over takes place is pachytene. In diplotin, you can see the formation of chiasmata. Next, the last stage is the diakinesis. Chromosomes will undergo maximum condensation and appear shorter and thicker than any other stage. As the homologous chromosomes move apart, the chiasmata slides down towards the end of the chromosome, and this is known as terminalization. So terminalization occurs in diakinesis stage. Non-sister chromatids of the bivalents are held by the terminal chiasmata till the break of the metaphase, till the end of the metaphase 1. Nucleolus will disappear, nuclear membrane breaks down, and bipolar spindle is formed. Now these are all the stages that happen during the prophase. Now let us look at metaphase 1. So in the metaphase 1, you see that homologous chromosomes line up to the equatorial plate of the spindle. So this is about the structure. They orient in such a way that the centromere of each chromosome of the bivalent become attached to the groups of chromosomal fibers of the opposite poles, because they had to be pulled towards the opposite poles. And orientation is important because it ensures in reduction of chromosome number. So the next stage you find here is the anaphase. It begins with shortening of chromosomal fibers attached to the centromere of the homologous chromosome. Now here can you see the color here? Here it is blue and it is yellow, it is yellow and it is blue. That means to say there is an exchange of the material that has undergone. That is the reason why you find the color changes or the color differences are being shown here. Now anaphase. It begins with the shortening of the chromosomal fibers attached to the centromere of the homologous chromosome. Each chromosome of the bivalent is pulled towards the opposite poles of the spindle. During anaphase 1, the homologous chromosomes are separated, but the centromeres of the chromosomes do not split. This results in number of chromosomes being reduced to half the original set. Now each homologous chromosomes of each pair that moves towards the opposite poles is therefore made up of two chromatids which are held together by a centromere. Due to crossing over in the pachytene stage, there has been an exchange of chromosomal segments between non-sister chromatids. Two chromatids of a chromosome do not resemble each other in genetic constitution, and anaphase 1 ends with separated set of chromosomes reaching the opposite poles. Now at the end of anaphase, they would have reached the poles, and this is the telophase 1. So almost identical to the telophase of mitosis, except that each set of chromosomes at the poles is now haploid. Chromosomes appear like thread-like. Asters and spindle fibers will disappear. Nucleolus reappears, and nuclear membrane is formed around each chromosome. Now this marks the end of the telophase 1 or the karyokinesis. Now again, as we have seen, after karyokinesis, it has to undergo through a brief interphase, it will undergo and then get into meiosis 2. So in the meiosis 2, it is similar to that of mitosis. So if you look at prophase 2, nuclear membrane disappears, chromosomes become compact. In metaphase 2, chromosomes will align at the equator. Microtubules from opposite poles of the spindle get attached, and kinetochore of the sister chromatids are formed. In anaphase 2, simultaneous splitting of the centromere of each chromosome occurs, allowing them to move to the opposite poles. Telophase 2 and cytokinesis, two groups of chromosomes get enclosed by a nuclear membrane. Cytokinesis follows, resulting in the formation of a tetrad of cells. Now, what is the significance? Means formation of gametes. So, this is seen in gametes as I have explained it to you. Now, because, and I also told you during Crossing over, there is recombination of the genes that takes place, reshuffling of the genes take place, as a result of which it results in genetic variability. And this is very important because variations form the raw materials for evolution. And third important thing is it maintains the chromosome number in sexually reproducing organisms. So this completes the lesson. So whatever the lesson, it goes for so many pages with so many diagrams, which has all been clubbed and put under a PD in this PDF in such a way that it is easier for you to remember, and it is also easier to revise. So having this package as a study in your study books would be an asset. Now let us go to the test. One is the cell cycle and cell division. Let me take the test. During the cell division, dash take place. So it is, see here, A, B, C, D are not there, but probably it is the cell growth and DNA replication. So these are the two things. So both C and B. Let us click that. The process of genome duplication to cell constituent synthesis to cell division is called cell cycle. Dash is a continuous ongoing process. Mitosis is a continuous ongoing process, while meiosis occurs only at the specific stage of the cell cycle, because mitosis occurs on the somatic cells. It helps in regeneration of the cells, repairing and replacing of the cells. So it's an ongoing process. Cell division in humans approximately occurs every 24 hours. Nuclear division is also called karyokinesis. Karyon is nucleus. Kinesis is division. So division of nucleus is karyokinesis. Look in for the root words to understand if you get confused. Cells in G0 phase. Sorry, I have left 6. In the G1 phase of a cell cycle, cell is metabolically active. Cell is undergoing DNA replication. Number of chromosome doubles. Amount of DNA doubles. So here it is only A. Cell is metabolically active. Cells in G0 phase are metabolically active, proliferate under certain circumstances, metabolically inactive, do not proliferate, always are in a state of proliferation. So it is A and B. Plant cells show mitosis in haploid and diploid cells both. Now let me look at this 6th question. Say A only. Okay. Now match the following: prophase, chromosomes arranged at the equator; metaphase, condensation of chromosome; anaphase, formation of Golgi complex and endoplasmic reticulum; telophase, movement to opposite poles. Now if you look at it, who is B? No. So one is C. So it is none of the above. Dash is the precursor for cell wall in a plant cell. It is the cell plate. Multinucleate condition leads to the formation of syncytium in coconut. Which of the following is true? Mitosis is associated with cell repair, occurs in the apical and lateral cambium of a plant, functions to restore the nuclear cytoplasmic ratio. It occurs during gametogenesis in both plants and animals. So A, B, C only are correct. Crossing over is mediated by the enzyme recombinase. Specialized structures located at the end of the eukaryotic chromosomes are called telomeres. Telo is end. So which is found at the end is a telomere. During cytokinesis in plant cells, cell plate is formed by the fusion of vesicles derived from which of the following? So it is derived from the Golgi complex. Now I'm going to end the test. Yes. So I have scored full marks. Again, if everything is correct, you will get a green in the legend. If it is red, that means it is wrong. When you click on that, it will show your answer and also the correct answer in green, and that will help you to identify your mistake. And also an explanation is given below so that you can understand why you went wrong. And if you have not attempted the question, it will appear yellow so that you can attempt at it later. Now one thing you have to be very careful in NEET preparations, when you are doing it, please, if you are not sure of the answer, it is better you leave it. But if you click the incorrect one, if you write the incorrect ones, you are going to lose -1 from your total score because it is negative scoring. So with this, we have come to an end of today's class. Now please note here the NEET packages have 38 3 full hour tests with 15 original tests and 20 plus past NEET papers, all solved with solutions. You can get additional help by using our Ask feature on our site, and we support chat groups using Telegram. You can also book slots for one-to-one teaching with the tutors. For any enquiries, mail your query to info@clay6.com. Thank you.